Care Bosses. Welcome to the Home Care Bosses United YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you how much does it cost to start a non-medical home care agency. If we haven't met yet, I'm Denis, the home care agency startup and growth expert. And what we do here at our consulting firm, we help burnt out, overworked, frustrated nurses and healthcare professionals start and grow their own home care agencies. And right now, most of my clients, they are successful nurses at the bedside, but they feel that tug. They know they are called for more. They know they need to be an entrepreneur so they can give more impact, more income, and get started with their home care agency. So they come to me for guidance, so I can guide them and help fast track their success. And what they like about me is the way I'm able to simplify things that seem difficult and make it very simple for people to understand. And not only that, they love my energy, and we help them get the success that they want in a shorter time. So let's talk. How much does it cost to start your own non-medical home care agency? Before we even go into the cost, the cost of your home care agency will depend on what step of ownership did you choose. There are different ways that you can own a home care agency. There are different steps to ownership with a home care agency. The first step, you can decide to go with a franchise. So the franchise model is a very popular model in the home care industry. And if you choose to go with a franchise, the investment to get started usually range from $40,000 to up to like $200,000. But in that cost usually include the fee that you are paying the franchise to use their name. It includes the training that you give them. But on top of the $40,000 to $200,000 that you will invest into the franchise, which is normal, okay? You also have to give them what is called royalty. Every month, whatever the money that you make, there's a percentage. Usually it's about 10%. There's a percentage that you have to give back to the franchise for the lifetime of your business. So that's one route. And if you choose to go that route, if that's the best route for you, if you choose to go the franchise model, then you can expect to your starting point for the first year to be like $40,000 to $200,000 for that first year, plus the 10% royalty fee and any expenses that you will need for your business. Because the $40,000 to the $200,000 doesn't include any of the expenses if you need to have an office or what you pay your caregivers and all of that. So that's the first step to ownership. If that's what you choose, this is the ballpark what you can expect. And of course, everywhere you are is different based on cost of life, based on how much your state charge to get your license registered, based on how much insurance is. So it will vary, but that is the ballpark if you go with a franchise, right? So now the other way you can own your agency, you can work with consultants. You can work with consultants, and if you go with consultants, consultant charge their price vary because everybody set up their own price. You can find a consultant that is very on the very lower side, like very inexpensive. You can find a consultant that is really expensive. And expensive, I don't even like to use that term because expensive is relative. What's expensive for me is not expensive for somebody. But really what I'm trying to point out there is that the prices vary. It's not going to be one price because everybody charge whatever they feel like their service is worth to you. That's another way to get started with your home care agency. So when you're starting with a consultant, you have to figure the consultant fee into your expenses. Of course, most likely it's not going to be $40,000 to $200,000 like the franchise. It'll be like at the lower fee. Usually you'll be at a lower fee, so it won't be as much as a franchise. But when you're looking for consultants, you really have to be mindful of who you're looking for, because there are lots of consultants out there, but they are not created the same. Some consultants, their model is they just give you the tiny piece of what you want. They just give you one piece at a time, and um it may look like it's not a lot of money, but when you figure every piece that you will need, then the money adds up. Okay? So you may go to a consultant like, okay, I'm just gonna charge you to register your business. And you're looking at it, hey, it's only $500. And somebody else say, hey, I'm giving you the whole thing for 5,000 or 10,000. And you say, hey, this person is less expensive. But you have to look at it. They only giving you one piece, so you can keep coming back. Then they charge you for the policy and procedures, $3,000. Then they charge you to get the business license, $2,000. They charge you for this, for that, and eventually it becomes more. So you want to make sure you go into a consultant that's not just giving you pieces, but they giving you most or all the things that you need to get started. They're giving you what you need from A to Z. So when you're looking for a consultant, you have to look into that. So most consultant, I'll say their price range maybe like from five to like $15,000 to get started. So those are the things that you can take in consideration. The third way you can get started with that, with your home care agency, you can do it on your own. Is it possible? Absolutely. Can you do it on your own? Absolutely. Is it gonna take you? Oh, and when you do it on your own, it looks like you save money, but at the end of the day, it may not even be. And it differs based on the person. It looks like, hey, you don't have to pay the consultant fee, you don't have to pay the franchise fee because you're doing it on your own. But when you're doing it on your own and you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna spend a lot of time watching YouTube video, be in the Facebook group. You're gonna waste a lot of time, make a lot of mistakes because you don't know what you don't know. So that's the three paths. So you have to choose one path and base on like either franchise, consultant, or do it yourself. So based on the path that you choose, that will help you see how much it will cost you to start your home care agency. So when you're making your calculation, the calculation will be different for everybody. But when you're making the calculation, you have to take in consideration the consultation or franchise fee that you're gonna pay. You have to take in consideration how much it's gonna cost you to get your business registered, how much it's gonna cost you for the license, if you need a look of commercial office, how much that is gonna cost you, if you are like your insurances, how much that is going to cost you, any equipment that you need for your agency to function, such as computer, laptop, office equipment. You have to keep all of this in mind. And then you also want to keep in mind payroll. Payroll, how much you want to put aside for payroll in order to get started with your agency. So those things, those prices vary based on where you are. But what I will recommend, wherever you are, if you can have 6 months of your expenses there in an account, that will be one of the best things that you can do for yourself. If you have 6 months of all the expenses that you're gonna have in your business, because when you first get started, the first month you're not gonna get client most likely. It's gonna take a little bit of time. You're not gonna start making money right away. So you wanna be prepared and give yourself about 3 to 6 months to get this up and running and start making money. So my advice, recommendation, whatever, calculate your total expenses, and whatever your expenses, if you can save or have access to 6 months of the expenses that you will have in your agency, then you can make sure that you have that in an account. So you have that sum of money to be prepared to run your agency without having to pull your hair. And for some people, that may not be feasible right now. But like there's different ways that you can fund your home care agency. You may not have access to that this moment, but you know that's what you want to do. There are tons of different ways how you can basically fund your home care agency, and I do have a video where I talk about that, how to fund your home care agency. Be sure to check that one out. For example, when I started my home care agency, honestly, this is like a really transparent moment here. When I started my home care agency, I didn't have 6 months of expenses saved. I didn't have access to that. I didn't have none of those stuff. When I started my agency, we really what we had $10,000 that we were able to come up with, and that's what I started with. But I had to really become very creative in order to make that $10,000 work, because you're gonna have to pay your biggest expenses. Your biggest expense is payroll. When payroll comes, you're gonna if you have if things are working and you have caregivers and business is growing, you have clients, you will need more than that to like make payroll. So because I didn't have the 6 months of expenses when I got started, I really had to be very creative in how I keep the cash flow in my agency. I really had to be super creative so I can have money to do payroll. And those are some of the things, the strategies that I share with my paying clients, where even if you may not have those 6 months of expenses saved, you can still do it. And there are strategies that you can utilize in order to make that happen for you. And those are the things that I teach inside of my Done For You Ignite program. I teach my clients a strategy how they can make payroll even though they don't have a lump sum that's already there waiting for them. And if you're ready to get started with your home care agency, we will love to work with you. We'll love to show you the rope. We'll love to help you fast track your success, because I know how that is. I was a bedside nurse just like you. I know how it feels to be burnt out, frustrated, tired, and you're looking for your next step, but you're not even sure of your next step because you know you have to start your home care agency, but you never done it before and you're afraid. You know you want to create more impact, more income, have more of a life, but you just don't know how. I remember those days. I remember feeling like you, and I so wish when I was getting started that there was a program where somebody will show me A to Z from what I needed to have a successful home care agency. I wouldn't have made so many mistakes. The cool thing for you, you have this available right here for you. I make this available right here, right there for you. When I was at your stage, I remember how hard it was to even get the information that you need. Nobody really wanted to share. I don't want nobody to go to that same experience. And that's why we create our program, the Done For You Ignite Your Home Care Agency program. So we can show you the rope, show you everything from A to Z, and help you fast track your success. When I say we show you everything from A to Z, we show you and we do the work for you too. Not only we showing you, we do the work. We complete all of your paperwork, your license paperwork, registration paperwork, all the internal forms that you need. We do all of that for you so you don't have to do the work. Then the part that you really need to know is the marketing and operation. We teach you that. We show you everything from A to Z, how to operate your home care agency, how to schedule your clients so you don't get in trouble with labor law, how to onboard a new client to your agency, how to hire, how to recruit, all those things. We showed all of this to you. We show you how to market, because my thing is, if you have an agency, you don't have clients, you don't have a business, right? You just have an expensive hobby. That's a no. We don't want that. So we teach you how to market, how to approach your referral source, what to say, where to find the clients that can afford your services. And if you're ready for that, make sure you attend our next free info session. Click the link in the description below and make sure that you join us in our next free info session. And if you're watching this, you're like, hey, I already started. I don't need to get started. I don't need the free info session. I just need help to grow. I already have my agency. We also have something for you. We have resources so people already have their home care agency so we can help them grow. Make sure you check also the description box so you can find those resources as well. And like always, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Subscribe.